Fitzgerald Bowyer, and I've got Ruth Cockburn.
That's right, that's me.
Hello.
It's spelled Cockburn, but it is Co.
This is going to be part of this year's GM Fringe, which is always fantastic. So if it's your first experience of it, Ruth, it's going to be really good. So tell us a little bit about your show.
The show's called Letters From Blackpool. That's an obvious choice for a show. It's quite niche, but I grew up in Blackpool.
Right.
I'm a Lancashire lass. What's the first thing that you think of when someone says the word Blackpool?
It's the Golden Mile and the fair.
That's quite clean in comparison to what most people say.
I didn't ask.
Most people think it's quite a grotty place, and it is. But I think there's an awful lot of romance there, and I grew up in Blackpool, and I think Blackpool, what it has done for me, it's a town that accepted me for all my idiosyncrasies and quirks, and I think that's quite a beautiful thing. So whether or not it's
let's talk about Blackpool a bit, because it's people are very opinionated about places, aren't they? We have that in Salford. We've had a lot of bad press in Salford over the years, so I do sympathise, and I understand why.
It gives you a strong sense of identity.
It does indeed, absolutely, But
I grew up in a bed and breakfast.
Did you? Well, that must have been interesting.
It was really interesting, and there was lots of different characters that would turn up at the bed and breakfast, and couples that came for year in, year out, and then one of the couple members would die, and then you keep coming, and you felt like part of the family, and it was I think there's elements of romance. So I'm looking at how you identify yourself with an area, and also how do you find love, because apparently it is possible to fall in love in 4 minutes.
Is it?
Scientists have said so it must be true.
Is that sort of love at first sight then, is it?
I guess so. It's through a series of asking 36 questions and then
in
staring
4 minutes.
And then staring at each other for 4 minutes.
Gosh, they must talk fast. I thought I'd talk quickly.
And by the end of it, apparently you can be in love with the person.
Wow.
That's science fact. So I'm looking at how do you find love? What makes you fall in love? And if a town and a place can mould your identity like that.
Yeah. Come on, you're going to play some music for us shortly anyway, aren't you? That which will be lovely, because you've got some music in your show. I was asking you if you'd done lots of research, and you said you have, so tell us about you.
I've interviewed lots of people.
That must have been really interesting. I'd have liked to have done that.
I've had some really interesting stories. Yesterday I spoke to a lady who was in the circus in the 80s. Yeah. Wow. In Blackpool, and her sister ran away with a black man from the circus
in the 80s. Yeah. Well, that would have been quite a thing, wouldn't it? Really, and it's not that long ago, but it's kind of
it's not that long ago. You think it is, but you think they were still walking elephants on the beach in the mid-80s. Quite astounding. So those kind of experiences, I've audio recordings, so I ask a series of questions, and my favourite answer so far to the question, where's the most romantic place in Blackpool? And Tricia said to me, under pier, kid. Under pier when tide's out.
I bet a lot of people think that's the most romantic place in Blackpool.
Certainly.
Yeah. Oh, can you just imagine the water lapping?
Oh yeah, it's just there's the water, isn't it? That's what it is.
Love in the air, actually, I can see that sort of kind of a little bit hidden from people.
Yeah, not seedy at all.
No, it's not. It wouldn't be for the two people who are feeling very much in love, would it?
That's very true. No,
it wouldn't.
So I've so in the show there's going to be audio from different interviews. But I'm also collating all of the stories because I'm trying to record the oral history. So I'm going to different day centres and different groups to try and save the stories before they get forgotten.
Oh, that's really lovely. It's really lovely and very relevant. Yeah. What are you going to do? You're going to document it in another way?
I'm going to, if the ones I haven't used in the show, or in fact all of them that I managed to get, I want to collate it into a small book.
I think you can sing now. That'd be lovely.
There's lots of riddles in football, but there's no riddles in me. I like strong coffee, but I drink weak tea. I'm great at baking cakes, but I burn my bacon. I hate bus journeys, but I love train stations. And if you tell me your dreams, I'll tell you a little about me when I try and take care of those dreams. If you try and take care of me, 'cause you know how many sugars I taking my tea, but you know nothing about me, but you know how I take my tea. So maybe you'll know how to take care of me. I like cracking my knuckles, I like whooping bubble wrap, I like staying up late, I like dancing like a twit, I like second-hand books, cause I like the way they smell, I like shoplifting butlers, cause sod it, I'm going to hell, and I don't know how to tell you, I don't know how to spell it out, that my life is much, much better now. You're about, we're no Romeo, no Juliet, I don't want to drink poison to you, but I would happily spend my evenings listening to your stories and cooking your food, cause you know how many sugars I take in my tea, but you know nothing about me, but you know how I take my tea. So maybe you'll know how to take care of me. I like Sunday morning papers on a Monday afternoon, just looking at the pictures and reading the cartoons. I like doing things I'm not supposed to do, but I like them much better when I'm doing them with you. And if you tell me your dreams, I'll tell you a little about me, and I'll try and take care of those dreams if you make me that cup of tea.
Oh, that was lovely. Actually, Ruth, I mean, you've got a great voice. Are you a singer first, or a writer, or are you just creative in every way?
I do. I started off doing singing. Mainly it's cabaret and stand-up.
Right.
Is my mainstay of stuff. But singing just kind of eked in to different things.
Oh, I'm glad it did, because that was great.
Oh, thank you.
It was lovely. So what do your family think about you doing this kind of research around love? It's something that everybody's got an opinion on, isn't it?
Yeah, well, so my family are Scottish and from the northeast, so they moved. My mum and dad moved to Blackpool when they got married. They lived in a caravan, and they arrived newlyweds.
Yeah, lots of caravans in Blackpool.
Yeah, they lived there until they could afford to get a house, and then they moved into a bed and breakfast. So they like Blackpool. It's an interesting place, and I think the whole family kind of like it. So I've interviewed them because they've got an awful lot of opinions on Blackpool and just the whole ethos of the place. I think what Blackpool did for me, it forced me to do lots of different things, because there's no such thing as a long-term job in Blackpool. It's all seasonal, and I think that when I've worked elsewhere in the country, that doesn't seem to be drummed into young people, that you have to keep chopping and changing and doing new things, and it gives you a certain level of confidence.
I think it does. I
was a very shy child, so I was forced into being outside of my comfort zone quite early on. It's an odd place. I had to do shows and all sorts. Cabaret singing.
Well, look what it's done for you now.
And I suppose a lot of the people in my family they were musicians, or like my dad was a guitarist, and my granddad was a singer, and everyone had some sort of family parties. So you've got to get up and do a turn. Come on, do a turn. So you're never allowed to sit and be on the side.
Just quiet.
No. Everyone's got to have a showpiece. My cousin's a magician.
All right.
Close-up magician. Everyone's got to.
Yeah, that's great.
Something that they do.
Sure. Always got somebody to entertain you.
Oh yeah.
Ruth, let me ask you, when you were doing your research, was there anything that shocked you? You don't have to say. No, what I don't want you to do is give away sort of anything, and spoil your actual show.
There's a couple of stories that I'm still struggling to figure out if I can put them in the show. There's one chappie, and I'll not tell the story because it's not suitable for the air.
Well, we won't tell that story then.
Needless
you can tell me after.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to look for romance, and all of a sudden you find
something else,
criminal activity.
Well, I guess sometimes when you give people the opportunity to talk, sometimes they purge themselves.
Yes. You turn into some sort of
therapist. Yeah,
it's great because you're just sitting there, and I prepared myself for lots of questions and trying to get leading questions and trying to get them to open up, and you go, right, here's the recorder, tell me a story, just comes out of them. Right, and I don't have to say anything. Sit there. Brilliant.
Well, that's great because it's all there, isn't it, for after.
Just lots of sifting through.
Actually, your show sounds fantastic. I mean, it's got, like you say, it's got all the emotions. It's got some great singing and tunes. It's got some really interesting stuff and some comedy. Yeah. So what more can you ask?
An audience.
Yeah, and an audience is all you require.
Yes.
And you'll have one.
Yes,
so
indeed.
let's tell people where they can come and see you first.
It'll be at the King's Arms in Salford on the 6th of July. At 7 o'clock.
It'll be on the website.
It'll be on the website. Tickets can be bought from the 1st of April from the GM Fringe.
Yeah, if you go onto the GM Fringe, if you just put that into a computer, it comes up all the stuff.
I love Letters From Blackpool, Ruth COCKBURN.
Yeah, spelled Cockburn.
Spelled Cockburn, like the port. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what my mum used to say to me when I was being bullied at school.
Yeah, because it's Cockburn's port. It's very, very classy.
Don't say cock, say co.
Yeah, very classy. It is. But it is, and I know it's a little bit of a way off. The thing is with the Fringe, some of the venues aren't huge. They're not huge.
No.
This probably isn't.
Intimate.
They're intimate. This is an intimate space, so get your ticket early. Can we say how much your tickets are?
I think they're £5.
About £5. Yeah, I mean, again, really, really good value.
Yes.
Very good value. £5.
Cheaper than a bottle of wine. Come on.
Absolutely, and I mean, I think with the Fringe as well, what I usually say is, so do forgive me if I repeat myself, people who don't go to the theatre often, and there are lots of people who don't and have never been to a theatre or to see a production of any kind, it's a nice way to sort of get a feel for stuff.
And also, 50 minutes, an hour long, it's not a huge commitment, just enough to take you on a journey.
Yeah.
That you're not thinking, oh God, I'm going to have to go at the interval and then go back in, and I'm just this sat in this dark space. You're going to see something nice, compact. You all share an experience in a nice intimate space, and then
absolutely, you are,
and then head off.
Yeah, and you can have a drink in the King's Arms, and actually you can take your drinks up in plastics and sit there with your drink, which is nice.
They still serve pies there, but they used to be.
They do food. They definitely do food. So anyway, thanks very much for coming in, and for giving us some live music on the show. That was really nice, and I'll hopefully come down and see it, and lots of our listeners will too.
Thank you.
So it's been lovely to meet you.
Bringing our community together.
Kaleidoscope with Jill Bowyer
on 94.4 FM.